all about teaching practice. So meron tayong tatlong items lang na pag-uusapan. No? So this one is actually medyo personalized, no? Experience ko to. So we will ask our fellow ALTs here kung ganito rin ba sila sa kanilang school. No? Pero one thing that I was a little surprised and happy to know when I learned about it is the use of reflection sheets. No? So every after class, yung mga estudyante ko sa elementary pati sa junior high, meron silang reflection sheets. They write their feedback for the day, what they learned, and at the same time, sa elementary ko, doon talaga nilalagay din nila yung mga day, date, time, and yung weather, ganyan, no? And I think sa Pilipinas naman, meron din ilang schools, no, na meron ganitong system through their school diary. 'Di ba? Meron silang mga ganun, no? Or journals, no? Pero nakakatuwa malaman na merong reflection sheets dito. And then at the same time, one thing that I noticed is talagang every time we start the class, talagang there's emphasis sa goals for the day. Which I've seen sa Pilipinas, not all teachers do it. But here, so far, lahat ng teachers talagang first week, parang siguro, first unit, talagang unit goals. Then every day, no? Goal every day, talagang it's also discussed for a few minutes before starting the class. So let's ask our teachers kung ganito rin ba yung practice sa kanila. Let's ask Nick first. Have you noticed na meron ba kayong reflection sheet sa senior high school?
Weekly goals lang po ang meron akong nakita sa mga teachers. Pero so far sa mga students, wala pa po ako nakitang reflection sheet. So this is something new to me. So siguro since nabanggit niyo to, titignan ko starting Monday. Kaso para paunti na po yung mga students kasi we are nearing the graduation day. So siguro next school year po.
And how about you, Pio?
I don't notice goals or reflection sheets being mentioned by the other Japanese teachers. So I don't think it's a thing. Well, it's not a thing sa classroom ko. I don't think we really have that. Maybe in Japanese. Siyempre, di ko lang alam because they might be doing it in Japanese. But yeah, what I know is that they're just very busy preparing for tests and exams. So baka yun yung goal nila palagi.
Sir Jason, sa inyo?
Yeah, for LM and junior high, we have that reflection part, furikairi. That's Japanese, right. Furikairi. In the junior high, it's less evident. Pero yung JTEs ko, they try to find ways kasi yun nga, madaming dinidiscuss and all of that. So, konti na lang yung time talaga for actual reflection. So, they use Google Sheets or Google Forms para mag-upload ng furikairi. Pero sa elementary, we really set aside time for reflection. Talagang, okay guys, write your reflection. Minsan nga, sa classrooms, meron pang format, may template pa kung paano gumawa ng furikairi para yung mga the kids can easily do their reflections. And then if there's still time after they wrote, some students will write it fast and then the teachers would call them, share your reflection. And it's also heartwarming for the teacher to hear that some students would say, English was hard, but I will try my best. Something like that. Although they say it in Japanese, right? But you get the idea. You get the idea. You get some key phrases, keywords, and then you also look back. You're also able to look back at how well you've taught the lesson or assisted the teacher in teaching the lesson.
So makikita talaga natin, no, yung differences, no? Sa senior high school medyo hindi na nila pina-practice, no, yung ganitong routine, no? But as you can see, no, sa junior high and elementary, meron pa ding reflections. At sa junior high ko, ang ganda ng reflection, every time I join the class, my JTEs ask the students to ask questions, no, through the reflection sheet na sasagutan ko after the class, no? So it's a way for us to communicate as well, no? So napakaganda. Okay, so nice. Next naman natin sa teaching practice, which is nabanggit na rin ng konti kanina ni Sir Jason sa kanya. Alamin natin kay Tio and kay Mick, no? Ito yung constantly changing class schedules. Kasi sa Pilipinas nga, alam naman natin, minsan per quarter, di ba? Minsan nga buong school year na fix, di ba? Pero dito so far sa experience ko, talagang every week kami. Tapos, ang interesting na nakita ko sa schedule namin ay merong short homeroom sa umpisa, may drills, may reading time, na talagang magbabasa lang talaga sila, nakakatuwa naman, no? So I want to know from Pio and Mick and then later with Sir Jason as well. Ano yung mga interesting parts of the schedule na napansin nyo na meron sa inyo? And then at the same time, iba-iba din ba kayo ng schedule every week? Siguro let's start with Pio.
Okay, so yung schedule namin sa school, we have week A and week B na nag-i-interchange. So let's say week A for this week, ito yung schedule ng week A. And then next week, it will be week B. Ito naman yung schedule ng week B. So the classes are arranged accordingly if week A or week B siya. Week A would have Saturday classes in the morning. Week B doesn't have Saturday classes. So basically, nag-i-interchange yung week A, week B, and nakasalalay doon kung anong time yung tuturuan mo and so on. And they do have homerooms at the end of the class. On Mondays, they have long homerooms wherein, I guess, just longer, basically. And on Fridays, something notable, which I think all of Japan also does. On Fridays, the last period for classes is made into SDGs, yung Sustainable Development Goals. So they would have their SDG projects on the very last period of Friday. So
interesting.
Yeah, notable sa ano namin.
That's
and I
cool.
think early morning, the students are required to be in their classroom at 8:15, I believe. And 8:15 to 8:40, I'm not sure what happens. I think they have like English drills because I can hear from the speaker. Wala yung mga teachers but at 8:15 eh. 8:30 is like the first very short na meeting. 8:40 is the first period. So 8:15 to 8:30, I think they have like listening drills or something because I can hear speakers usually in English.
Nice. No, interesting. Makikita natin ngayon yung mga different practices no sa bawat school. Sa inyo, Sir Jason?
Sa amin, yeah, every week nagpapalit nga ng schedule and we get that update kaagad at the beginning of the week and then throughout the week nagpapalit-palit din yung schedule for the next week. So, pero one thing that's constant is the morning assembly, the morning talk of the morning assembly with the homeroom, tapos the afternoon assembly as well. So kailangan yun, I think kailangan talaga yun nila kasi sometimes may mga announcements from the administration that gets passed on and then towards going home may mga panibagong updates and all of that, or kung merong mga gustong ibalita yung mga kids na mga any events that happened within the day, so they will be able to share it with their homeroom advisors. So the role of the homeroom teachers is really important as well.
Totoo. Very difficult din. Daming responsibilities. Sa inyo, Mick, kamusta ang schedule?
Well, with us, our schedules don't change. Kaya ako nagkataka po, bakit nagpapalit yung schedule nyo? Or at least, our schedules haven't changed yet. Pero, yun, kung ano po yung binigay sa aking schedule simula nung nag-umpisa ako hanggang ngayon, ganun pa rin po yung schedule. It's just that hindi po araw-araw na may English classes sila. May mga subjects na wala sa ganitong araw. May mga subjects na basta po hindi po everyday na ganitong subject meron. Unlike sa atin sa Pilipinas na Monday hanggang Friday meron kang ESP, meron kang English, meron kang ganito and so on and so forth. Dito po hindi po. So may mga times na wala pong English subject, may times na meron.
So anyway, no, si Mick kasi ay 1 month pa lang sa school niya. So marami pa siya mga madidiscover ng mga school practices.
Marami ka pang ikabibigla, friend.
Pero siguro ito, yes, go ahead, Pio.
Sorry. I also want to add pala na for senior high school, usually, if maging ALT ka, mag-teach ka sa senior high school, the third year students usually walang parang English classes with the ALT. So usually, yung tuturuan namin is yung first tsaka second year na senior high lang. Because I guess it's the same din kay Sir Mick. Because in third year students, they are so busy with preparing for exams.
Yes.
Their whole school year is about preparing for national exams, university exams, lahat ng klaseng exams. So parang ganun.
Ayan. And then of course, when it comes to our schedule naman as ALT schedule, most likely siguro ang general sa ALTs would have 3 to 4 classes, no? Max na yung 6, minimum na yung 2 or isa, di ba? Pero siguro 3 to 4 classes in
3 to
general
4
meron.
classes,
Yeah,
yes.
no? Siguro if
Sa elementary,
uh,
5. I have 5.
mm, if I may ask lang just answer
Per
by
day po ba, Teacher Max?
Per day.
yes, per day, per day.
1 po.
Ayan, 'di ba? Meron yung instances na 1.
1 to 2.
Ang last question ko na lang sa ating mga guests ay please answer me just by yes or no lang. Is do you make your schedule or your JT or somebody from the school gives you the schedule at yun susundin nyo na lang, no? So let's start with Pio. Yes or no?
Yes. No, well, I mean, no, I don't make my schedule, but I do talk to other teachers if needed.
Yeah. Mick?
No po. I receive
No.
my schedule from the admin.
Ayan. And Sir Jason?
I don't make my own schedule. I receive my schedule from the administration.
So, yun siguro yung something unique for me, no? Sa junior high ko. So, I get to make my own schedule, meaning I get to choose kung saan akong klaseng pupunta. Kaya kong mag-decide kung gusto ko isang klase lang or 6. So, somehow yun yung unique, no, sa pagdating sa akin. Okay, and now, last sa ating number 4 category. Ito na siguro yung pinaka-surprising and shocking para sa aming lahat. Especially siguro sa mga future ALTs na walang background or hindi masyado din nag-Google katulad ko nung dumating dito sa Japan, ay ang isa sa pinaka-kinagulat ko ay ang English class is being taught in Japanese. Okay, alam naman po natin sa Pilipinas na meron tayong mga English-only policy or yung tinatawag natin minsan yung classrooms natin ay mga just English please zone, JEP zones, or talagang yung mga teacher po natin talagang English magturo at tayo minsan ay may mga pagkakataon noon na pagka nagsalita ka ng Tagalog, magbabayad ka pa ng piso sa class fund. Pero dito po, sa Japan, ang mga Japanese teacher po ay nagja-Japanese habang tinuturo ang English. And that happens 70-80% of the time. So, sobrang shock ako doon. And I would like to know kung ganun din ba yung practice sa schools, especially sa senior high. Interested din akong malaman. Kasi sa amin, Sir Jason, minsan sa elementary, ang partner namin, homeroom teacher, hindi JTE, no? So talagang hindi nag-i-English. Di ba? So, it was so surprising. Siguro punta muna tayo kay Sir Jason dahil pareho kami ng experience. Sir Jason, na-shock ka ba? Or dahil may idea ka naman na talaga?
May idea naman na ako eh. May idea na ako that, well, since Japan is just moving towards English as second language, kasi ngayon English as foreign language sila eh. So, talagang English is really taught in the vernacular. I mean, in the elementary level, I try to code switch from time to time, especially if the students do not understand the concepts or how to formulate the sentences properly. Kasi sometimes they get stuck with a certain pattern. Alam mo, this is a, it's a. Pero halimbawa, pag naging vowel na yung susunod, they still say the same, it's a owl. No, it's an owl. So, yun yung kailangan mo mga explain in Japanese. And then in the junior high school, the teacher, the JTE, gets to explain most of the concepts. Kasi mas solid naman yung foundation niya. Mas yung grammar niya, tsaka talagang yung major niya is for that. Sa elementary kasi teach all eh. Parang sa Pilipinas lang, 'di ba? So, sa junior high school, mas major specific sila, so they can really teach English. But they teach it in Japanese so that the students understand. So the role of the ALT is to assist the students also. So it's really an important thing to have classroom Japanese, at least acquire classroom Japanese in communicating with the students, because sometimes the worksheets can be difficult. The worksheets can be difficult. You have the teacher, you have the JTE, and you're there to assist. So if you don't know Japanese, it will also be hard for you to assist sometimes. So ayun. It's important that the students also understand the target language in a language they could understand.
Pero yun na nga, one thing that I noticed, a lot of translations are being done inside the class.
Yes, translation method, grammar translation.
Talaga. So, kamusta po sa senior high, Sir Pio at Teacher Kimpoy, no? Talagang naka-Japanese din po ba ang ating mga teachers? Siguro Teacher Kimpoy, ikaw muna. Japanese din ba yung
Yes
turo?
po. Nihongo po. Lalo na po
Mm.
kapag grammar ang pinag-uusapan. So ito po, actually nag-volunteer ako na mag-sit in sa klase. Minsan, sasabihin ng JTE ko na the discussion will be in Nihongo. So if you want, you can choose to stay here at the faculty room, do whatever needs to be done, complete the bulletin board. You don't necessarily have to go with me dun sa because I will be teaching grammar in Nihongo. So ganun po yung minsan nagiging setup. Pero magaling po mag-English yung mga JTEs ko eh. As in magaling talaga sila. Pero yun nga po, English is taught in Nihongo. Ganun pa rin po.
Surprising, no? Kasi parang pagdating sa atin sa Pilipinas, parang ang weird, no? Parang pag magtuturo ka nga
Yes.
ng Tagalog, no? Parang, okay guys, tayo mag-aaral ngayon ng tinatawag nating noun sa English or pangalan, di ba? So, ang mga halimbawa ng noun ay, di ba, parang, ano to? Pero,
May
di ba, it has...
May time din na may mga time din that the other subjects are taught in English. Magugulat ka din. The
Totoo.
other subjects are taught in English kasi they're also moving towards that.
Totoo. So, but of course, teaching in the vernacular, meron din advantages, no? Pero something surprising,
Yes.
no? Para sa atin. Sa inyo, Sir Pio?
I think it's similar. Yung mga JTEs ko, when they have their own classes, it's mostly in Nihongo, in Japanese. And in my class, usually because I'm teacher 1, so yun yung heavily English. And I think back in Vietnam, it was also similar for public schools na only the foreign teacher, yun talaga yung heavy na English conversational classes na mostly English. Their own English class is usually also in Vietnamese. So,
I see. Oo.
Yeah.
Kaya nga din sa school ko din, no, I always tell my JT na let's do more communication, dialogues pala, together. Kasi the moment the students see that the JTE also speaks English, talagang nakikita nila na, this is someone I can emulate, no? And try to follow, no? Kasi talaga makikita nila na if my JTE can do it to the Japanese, kayang-kaya ko rin, di ba? So,
Yes.
yun yung maganda. Pero talagang surprising, no? Kasi nasanay tayo na maski sa Pilipinas, all subjects are taught in English, no? And Filipino subjects lang yung subject lang talaga yung Tagalog. And I told my JTEs na probably that's one reason na it was easier for Filipinos to learn English and to use
Right.
English. It may not be perfect, pero it's easier for Filipinos talaga to acquire, no?
Because we start
Language proficiency. And
we start
we start early, exposure, everywhere you go din talaga English. Ang laking factor. Okay. Thank you. Ito na guys. Grabe. Sarap ng kwentuhan natin. Napunta na tayo sa last category natin.